Hi, everybody. Welcome to Domain 6.0 Unit End Hands-On Exercise. As always, we will be starting with our split screen. So we will go to the View tab and we will split our screen. You guys are probably pros at this by now, but I will mention again, I like to adjust my split so that I have a little more room on the top, a little less on the bottom. I'll scroll on down to the instructions in the bottom window and we can get started. Okay, step number one. This is all about track changes and reviewing. So step number one is to add a comment. We will go to the Review tab and we will come down to the comment section. And step number one says to add a comment to the image of the book at the top of page 1. So I will select the piece of the document that I want to comment on. I will go to the Review tab and I will add a new comment. And our comment will read, consider using a picture style. Oh my goodness. Consider getting in home position before you begin typing. Consider using a picture style for the image of the book, just to class the joint up. Okay, that's step number one. Step number two, review and reply to comments. Using the next button to navigate through all the existing comments. There should be 4. So I created 1. Let's go to the Review tab, to the Comments group, and use the Next button. And sure enough, there is comment number 1. I called myself out on not being consistent with my use of the word well-being. I will say Next. Takes me to comment number 2. And I hit Next to go to comment number 3. And Next to go to comment number 4. And if I hit Next, it wraps me back around to the beginning and I see the comment that I just made in step 1. So there we go. When you have finished reviewing them all, so I've looked through everything, reply to the comment on the social well-being section. So I'm just going to use the Next button here to flip through these. That one is in career well-being, that one is in financial well-being, and this is down here in social well-being. And it says you may want to consider hiding or deleting this paragraph so the social well-being section doesn't get too heavy. Fair enough. So I will reply. And my reply will be, get myself in here. Nice catch. I'll consider it. Okay. Fair enough. So now we move on to number 3. Let's resolve comment number 2. So if this is comment number 3, if I come back to the comment section here and hit the previous button, this would be comment 4 according to Word. So here's the comment before it, and the comment before that is comment number 2, and I will resolve it by clicking this Resolve button right here. So it's done. Great. Then it says delete comment number 4. So I'm going to use the Next button to get down to comment number 4. It says to delete it. I will come to the Review tab, to the Comments group, to the Delete. Now, if I click the fat part of the button, it'll just delete this comment, but I like to see what's available in the drop-down. So I'm going to click here. Do I want to delete this comment, all the comments shown, or all the comments in the whole document? Just this one. So I will click Delete. All right. Number 5, track changes. So place your cursor at the beginning of the document. This is just one of those best practices things because when I'm tracking changes, I want to start at the beginning and go from there. I don't want to start in the center and then go to the end and wrap back around. It just confuses me. So I'm going to go to the beginning of the document, place my cursor there, go to the tracking group of the Review tab, and turn on Track Changes by clicking this button right here. So now my changes are being tracked. Any changes I make will be kept track of. Number 6, review the tracked changes. So I'm going to open my reviewing pane as a vertical window. So Review tab, Tracking group, Reviewing pane. I'm going to grab the drop down there, ask it to show me that reviewing pane as a vertical window. Pops up over here on the side. And this is just going to give me the details of all of my tracked changes. So I'm going to review those tracked changes in the document using the next and the previous buttons in the Changes tab. So when I say Next, the document automatically advances to my next tracked change. So here was the first one. Here's the second one. When I say Next again, the document will advance, but so will the revisions pane here. So keep your eye on both. So this takes me to the financial well-being section. Here I am. I moved this down. So if I hit Next again, it takes me to this comment that I just resolved that explains why I made that change. So the actual change itself is being tracked, and so is the comment as a separate thing. So here's my comment. I notice your sections don't follow the same order you laid out in the paragraph, the introduction paragraph, so I moved it from where it is to after social well-being. Okay? If I say Next here, it takes me to my next change, which is another comment. Next. It takes me to the reply to that comment. Same here. If I say Next, it takes me to the insert. This is where I moved that paragraph that I cut. It lists it here as kind of two separate things, but as you'll see, the document kind of views it as one thing. I cut it from one place, I inserted it in another. If I say Next, it's this little line that I took out, deleted it here. Next, shows me this small deletion here. If I say Next, it takes me all the way back to the beginning where that comment we put in at the very beginning shows up. So that's just a quick review through all of the changes that I looked at or that were made in this document. Now that I have reviewed them all, I can decide, am I going to accept or reject those changes? So this says, accept the change to move the financial well-being section to its new location and then reject all the other changes. So right now I am on this first change where this comment says, consider using a picture style. I'm going to reject that one. So I will say reject and move to the next one. Okay, the next thing is a comment that I made here about the compound word versus one word. I'm going to reject that one and move to the next one. Now we are at this section where I removed or I cut this financial well-being section from where it is, and I inserted it into the document down here. I want to be under accept. If I accept this one and then move to the next one, so it accepted that change and it takes me directly to this next comment. I'm going to reject that comment. And now you'll see that the financial well-being paragraph is already just sitting here because I accepted that change. So when I said earlier that it kind of views it as one change, because I accepted the cut and the insert, you don't have to accept the cut and then accept the insert. It accepted those as one thing, which is kind of nice. So the next change is this deletion right here. We'll reject that and move to the next one. We will reject that change, the very last change, and move to the next one. And it now says there aren't any more comments or tracked changes for us to deal with. We say, okay, our work here is done. Number 8, lock track changes. This is a fun one. So right now, track changes is turned on. I'm going to turn off my revisions pane here since I no longer need it. If I want to lock this so someone can't turn it off again accidentally, I'm going to have to go to lock tracking. Lock tracking just allows you to set a password so that if someone wants to turn off the changes, they have to enter the password so they don't do this accidentally. So I'm going to turn on my caps lock and enter the password hands_off. Re-enter it here, and I'll say okay. So now track changes is just on and it's locked. I can't do anything about it. If I want to unlock that, I click the unlock button. I have to enter the password. If I can type it, and then I'll say okay. And now I am allowed to get in here and turn track changes off and on. I'll go ahead and turn it off. So I locked the track changes with this password. I unlocked it and I entered the password when prompted. I turned it off. Great. Step number 9, you're done. Save your work, always. and celebrate yourself. This is the last domain in the MOS Word curriculum, so you have done a lot of work. If anything here is unclear, if you're not certain about anything, by all means, reach out to an instructor or a facilitator. Otherwise, it's time to review the curriculum and think about scheduling a test. Congratulations.